And welcome back to the shit behind the show. There's our friend again, recording in progress. Okay, today I am back with my dear friend David. Hi, David.
Hello.
This is David,
Welcome.
author of Let It Go and Mind Coach.
Nice
Welcome.
to see you. Nice to be on the show again. Loving it.
I'm so happy to have us back.
I'm glad to be back. Always great to be speaking to you across the ocean.
Yes, yes, one day it will not be. Putting it out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll meet in New York, perhaps.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So today
Mm,
I wanted to discuss, this week I've been discussing procrastination, the different things that cause procrastination, reasons why we do it, how detrimental it can be. Today with you, I want to discuss ways to overcome procrastination.
mm, mm. So, so procrastination is something that everyone at one point or another does have a problem with. I think it can just leave you completely frustrated and go and run in circles. And I've definitely suffered procrastinated in my life and business. And I just wanted to share a couple of viewpoints and insights into it, really, procrastination. The first thing is that, throughout our life, we're always going to be emotional. We're always going to have we're always going to overthink. And these things happen. But really, you've got to look at if you've got, something that you want to achieve, like a goal for the week or goals. I always think of, to-do lists. We have a to-do list. You have a to-do list, Christine?
I have to have
We
a
always have.
David.
Mm. So we have to-do lists, and I have my to-do list. And the thing is, it can be scary. So look at it as you're always gonna always have a to-do list. That's the first thing. And the second thing is if I do two or three things per day on that to-do list, important things, I feel good. So it's about feeling good. So don't try and do everything because you might end up doing nothing. So let's try and do two or three things. So every day I have, for my business, for example, I have two or three things, and anything else after that is a bonus. So the first thing that I want to share with everyone is do something called the 2 minute rule. The 2 minute rule is if one of these tasks takes 2 minutes or less, do that one first. So you could just ease your way in. So do something that's going to be no more than 2 minutes long. So pick that from your list. It could be a telephone call you've been putting off. How many times have you had a telephone call with someone and after it you're thinking, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought. It was much easier than I thought. Have you ever found that?
David, I am the biggest procrastinator I know. And I'm so yes. But isn't that always the case? You you're kind of dreading it for me anyway. It's like, oh, I have to do this thing, I have to do this thing. And then you get it done and you're like, why was I putting that off? It doesn't matter what it was. It wasn't so bad.
Yeah, yeah. So try the 2 minute rule. That's the first thing I want people to think about is, you don't have to be strict. It could be 5 minutes, but do a really short task first because it's a quick win.
Mhm.
Our brain loves quick wins. It loves to have evidence that, oh, I can do this because we can get ourselves up into such a state that we think, oh, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm incapable of doing it. Oh, leave me alone. I want to stay in bed. Or I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna go for a walk, and you do everything but what you're supposed to do. So give yourself a break and just have a quick win.
Mhm.
Okay, have a quick win, and you know some days are going to be better than others, where you perhaps you don't need a quick win. You'll just go into the heavy stuff. But most of us, we like to start, ease yourself in, make it easy for yourself, be gentle with yourself. You're a human being. We all have our problems. We all have those nasty neighbors, or we have a challenge we've got a bill to pay, or we've got a partner who is irritating us, whatever. We've all got challenges. But ultimately, we've got to get on with life. We've got to get on with life. So quick win is the first tick, checkbox. I've done that, you know. And Christine, when you've done something on your to-do list, how do you feel after the first thing?
It feels great to feel accomplished. It's like, oh,
Mm,
confidence builds back up. Your like mood changes. Oh, I feel so much better. And I am one that I do have to create a list. I have to put it on my desk, right where I know I will see it in the morning and physically check and to see that list checked off at the end of the day just feels amazing. It feels great. It's
it
motivating.
does. So, yeah, it does. And don't think about it. Just carry on checking that list. You know, just do it. Just keep on checking the list, and you can do as many quick wins as you want to, really, um, as long as you are doing it. Because your brain then thinks, oh, okay, this is easier than I thought. And you want your brain to think that this is easier than thought, and it goes on to the bigger stuff. But you just mentioned it. You feel good.
Mhm.
So when you feel good, Christine, do you find, right, I can do anything. I'm going to go on to the next one.
Right. It builds your confidence level of like, okay, I have to, I'm dreading to, I got this, bring on the next thing.
Yeah, bring on the next thing. And what you'll find though is that most of the time you'll do more than you thought, but it is literally taking the quick wins, quick wins. That's the first thing I would say. It's called the 2 minute rule. Just go for it. Go for it. And don't put pressure on yourself. Absolutely don't put pressure, because if you put pressure on yourself, you're more than likely you'll self-sabotage, and
Yes.
then you'll just do nothing. You know, so that's what I do, is quick wins. The second thing that I would think about is time block. So time block, it is, you know, putting aside 20 to 25 minutes to do something like a major task.
Mhm.
So it might be, okay, I need to do research for my car insurance, and put it off and put it off. I need new car insurance. Damn it. I'm going to time block an hour. So you time block an hour, say between 4 and 5 p.m., just to do the car insurance. It's going to take you 20, 25 minutes, but you time block out. So then because I use Google Calendar, because I think that's excellent. For me, it's excellent. And it's linked up to my laptop, so it gives me reminders. So time block, it's really good. Time block. So between 4 and 5, 4 and 5, who does anything usually between 4 and 5? Just put it in something like an insurance. I don't want it in the middle of my day. I want it somewhere in in the marginal part of my day when I can just relax and I don't have to speak to clients, you know? So 4 till 5, I might put insurance. So time block stuff in an appropriate time. So you might think, okay, I want to exercise sometime in the day. So I do my exercise normally first thing in the morning. But somebody might say, can't do it, got kids to take to school, gotta do this for my business, so I can only exercise in the middle of the day. Okay. So then time block in the middle of the day, 12:30 till 1:30. Make it a commitment to yourself to time block. That's just an example. You can time block anything. You can time block, right, I've got a cold call, potential new leads between sometime in the afternoon. So time block 2 till 4. So you made a commitment with yourself. So time blocking. Is that something that you actually do yourself, Christine, in terms of time blocking? Is that something you do?
I do. I use Google Calendar as well. Well, I use both,
Mm,
Apple and Google.
mm,
I every day from this time to this time to get a workout in. And I have to, again, I have to put everything in a calendar. I have to write everything down. So I actually will do that. Okay, so I'm going to give myself an hour to complete this task. Like this
mm.
phone call, I edit podcasts every day. And so I will give myself sometimes it's the day of because I don't know what my day is going to bring. But in the morning, I will sit down, look at all my tasks, and I will block out time to edit. Sometimes it's twice a day.
Yeah, brilliant. And when you now that you time block, you've been podcasting for years, so if you time block, what advantage does it give to you in terms of the way you feel and your productivity?
That makes, well, it helps me stay on task. And so therefore, it helps with my confidence and helps me feel productive. And like I've achieved my goals for the day. All of those things really feed the soul and the confidence if you can get your goals achieved, right? Um, what's hard for me is sometimes life gets in the way as far as mood, and it's really hard to get over that hump of I just don't want a life today. I don't want to.
Mm,
So that's where I struggle
mm.
is
Okay, can I add to that then?
Mhm.
Okay, so this year, this year, I wanted to. I got to a point. I don't know if I told you that it was sometime in April that I had a bit of cheese. It was this processed sliced cheese you can buy, and I suddenly after the cheese within 5 minutes, my stomach was bloated. I was on my way to doing a Zoom rather like this. So I was in the kitchen and I had some cheese, and within 5 minutes, my stomach was bloated. Anyway, about 2 weeks later, I was meeting a friend for brunch. I love brunch. And we were chatting about foods. And I told her, she's a nutritionist. And I told her about my experience where I had some cheese and I suddenly bloated. And I've known her for years. And she said, to be honest, David, I think you've got a mild dairy allergy. I thought, really? She said, can I make a suggestion? And I said, yeah, no problem. She said, why don't you just stay off dairy for a week, 7 days? And I thought, oh, I don't know. Can I do 5 days? And then she said, okay, do 5 days. Anyway, 12 days later, I did a 12 day, actually, I actually abstained from dairy for 12 days. Okay. And while I was doing it, I abstained from sugar. So I weighed myself, but I felt, first of all, I felt more energized. I felt more alert. I was not bloated. I was sleeping better. And I lost, in that 12 days, I lost about 5 pounds. Okay. Which is good. Many water and whatever. But I continued to this day. So I lost so much weight that I'm back to the same weight as I was back in the 90s when I was in my 20s, back in the 90s. So I ended up losing 3 inches off my waist, like that. And I feel really toned. I feel really good. But I sleep better, I'm more energized, more focused. But I'm not saying that I don't eat dairy. I eat dairy plenty in the weekend, usually. And if I want my sugar, my cakes and chocolate in the weekends. In the week, I'm fairly good, soups and salads and vegetables and chicken and all that. So my point being, during that journey, and I'm still, on the journey, my brain was saying, go on, have sugar. Go on, do it. Go on. Discipline. Discipline is the fuel, and
yeah.
it keeps me going. But my other point being, Christine, I said to myself the other day, go on, if I can do that, I can do anything. I can do anything. You know, okay, yes, I'm a coach and I run businesses and I've written a book and all that. But that didn't really make me feel brilliant. But this, after years and years of thinking, oh, body transformation, I've gone and done it. So I'm thinking, my belief says, right, I can do anything. I can tell my brain to do anything, anything. So what I say to any viewer out there or listener out there is you can do anything you want to. Your brain will try and stop you.
Mhm.
And you mentioned you have days where you think, oh, I'm not in the mood, my emotion, I don't want to do it, right? I have plenty of those days, plenty. And I know anybody who appears to be successful in life and who is successful says the same thing. Plenty of those days. Those are the days where you have to get up and you have to get out of your own way. and get on with it. And that's when you get on with it, or as Nike says, just do it. Those are the days that you're going to look back and think, that is when that's the wall I jumped over. How
Yes.
does that sound to you on those days when you're thinking, I can't do it? But instead you think, no, I am going to do it. You're not going to stop me.
Yes, that sounds so great. Well, I know that feels so great because I pulled myself out of the mood by reaching my goals, by accomplishing the things that I was dreading to do recently. Uh, my to-do list was just like, well, yeah, my to-do list was just, you know, doing what we do. And I think this is important to share. Uh, we want to present this happy face all the time, cheery, like we're both uplifting, optimistic people. And if you're not feeling it, it's really hard to fake it, right?
It
To
is.
be like, yeah, everything's great. And it's really not.
It's so true. It's so true. Because I never go on social media or record anything unless I'm in a good frame of mind. I can't because it's fake. But
It's hard.
every day you got to, yeah, every day you got to show up.
Mhm.
You have to show up. So, if you run a lorry business, or you got to fix your truck, or you want to go and try for the basketball team, you've just got to show up. You've just got to show up. There are plenty of days where you think you've failed. Doesn't matter. Next day, show up. Failure is when you don't show up. In
Right.
my in my in my universe, failure is when you don't show up. If you show up and you don't have a good day, it's okay. Tomorrow, and one thing I learned from T. Harv Eker years ago, tomorrow I can always make a comeback. And I live by that mantra. Tomorrow I can always make a comeback. So I'm keen to do that. Can I share one more tip before we go?
Absolutely.
So what I wanted everyone to think about is if you've got something that you have to do, like a project or a goal you want to reach, break it down. Get a piece of paper, and a pen. Don't do it on your phone or your computer. Break it down into small steps. Small steps. So if you think, right, oh, I want to open myself a cafe, then break it down into small steps. What sort of cafe? Where are you gonna open this cafe? What sort of cafe is it gonna be? Write down your dream on a sheet. That's just a big goal. Or a goal could be that you want to get into shape. Okay. So what do you want to do if you get into shape? So write down how many pounds you want to lose and what do you want to do to get into shape? Do you want to join a gym or do you want to go running or do you want to cycle? Everyone's different. You can't be dictated by somebody else. Just because somebody else is lifting the weights and you don't like to do weight training, do it your way. But you've got to think about every goal. So this is Z, this is A to Z. You've got to think about, right, Z is, I want to meet someone. A is single, I'm here. And you've got to think about, right, I've got to work on myself. I've got to work on my body. I've got to work on my look, or I've got to join a dating site, or I've got to decide to get a new wardrobe, whatever. What are the steps that you need? So break everything down into manageable goals and steps, mini goals. Okay. So I always think about mini manageable steps. It's going to make you feel better, so much better when you do that. So it could be, oh, I want to paint my living room, my lounge. I want to paint it. Okay. So first of all, time block. So, right, okay, week Saturday, we're going to do the lounge. Okay, so you've given yourself commitment. Got to buy the paint. So you're going to talk about, right, what's paint color? Where are we going to go and buy the paint from? The brushes. So you look at these mini steps. And that way, you'll decide, right, we're going to buy on Monday, we're going to get the paint brushes. Tuesday, we're going to get the paint as well. And then we're going to get, say, maybe the cloth to put on the floor, the sheet. We don't have a step ladder. Right, got to buy a step ladder. So you've got all these things that you can get into place so that when the Saturday comes, you're in the end zone. You are there. You're ready for action. And this is what people forget. They think, oh my God, I've got to do it all in one day. No, create those mini dates with yourself. Got to go to the hardware store, got to go to get some paint, manageable steps.
Yes.
And guess what? Quick question to you, does your brain like small steps?
More steps?
Small steps.
Small steps. Yes. Yes. And it makes it look like less of a mountain to climb, you know, like a ladder each step, then the whole big picture, I've got to do this thing. Also, one thing I want to point out, and you discuss in your book, is it takes 90 days to create a habit. So the more you do this, the more it's just going to be like, okay, this is easy. Maybe you don't even have to make a list anymore because in your mind, it's like, I already know from this time to this time, I've got to accomplish this. And then I've got to take care of this task. And it just like working out, it just becomes a part of your day to day. That's
Yes,
where the gold is.
that's where the gold is. Yeah, absolutely. It's like transformation, isn't it? Going from being the arch procrastinator to saying, right, no, this is not going to control me.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you want to look back at your life and think, I did as much as I could. I really, really enjoyed my life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so great to speak with you again. We are going to do this lots because you are just one of my favorite humans, as you know.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And likewise, I love these conversations. They're really insightful and also hopefully they give value to people. So, we can then help more people and they can, anybody listen to this, please, if you like the tips, share them with your partner, share them with your friends.
Yes, yes, please share. Also, real quick before we go, where can my listeners and followers find you, David?
Okay, so if they type in www.mind.coach, so it's mind.coach, just 3 words, and that will lead them to my website, what I'm up to at the moment. And also, like yourself, I'm on Instagram. So that's David_Rahman, Rahman. And feel free to bring some questions if they want to. And I'll see you at the next one, the next session with Christine.
Yes, I love it. Thank you again. And until next time, see you soon. Bye.